No organization can do without a great business idea, but there is more. You need a solid team to get to the next level. Now, how to identify the people that you need and when to start looking for them. We would like to share 5 tips that we've learned over the years from our customers. Today we would like to talk to you about organizations and the people behind them that deliver performance in order to build something great. This can be a product or a service. And interesting enough, our experience is that there are some intriguing blueprints for success when it comes down to team performance. Tip 1. Start with building a diverse team. The goal of your organization is to bring a good business idea to the market as quickly as possible. As founders, you therefore need team members with complementing skills. Your co-founder may happen to be your best friend, but do you both have different qualities? Your organization needs business developers, but it also needs someone who knows how to test and bring the product to the market. In short, diversify your team in talent, capacity, experience, and character. Great teams often have a mix of content-minded thinkers around the product and people-attached runners who love to go out there and make new connections. As most early-stage organizations struggle with the lack of cash, friends and family often help out at the beginning. Someone knows a bit of coding, another has some experience in product development. This is great, but can they help you get to the next level? Remember, taking the next step in growth requires the best professionals you can find. People who know a bit of something won't do. Tip number 2. Identify strengths of individual team members. Once you set up the core of your team, it is important to specify who does what. You don't need to make agreements in black and white yet, but you should start a conversation about business roles, personality, and qualities. Experience is something that doesn't necessarily mean that someone is good at it. Good ideas do not guarantee quality. It strikes me that many teams never have this discussion. So sit your team down and discuss who is good at what. Ask everyone to demonstrate with examples, discuss their role in past successes and what gave them energy. Try to match these successes with the goals of your organization at this moment in time. Is there a fit? After this exercise, you can start to see, are we a winning team with complementary skill sets or not? Tip number 3. Find your devil's advocate. Great teams do not necessarily have fun all the time. In fact, every team needs members who dare to ask tough questions and start a debate. In strong teams, 1 or 2 people develop the idea and someone else drops the counter-argument. Is this really what the customer is looking for? It is wise to find someone outside of your team as well who can be your devil's advocate. This may be a friend or another entrepreneur. Again, it is about starting the dialogue. Someone with fresh ideas and critical questions. Engaging an outsider in your process can prevent you from thinking one-dimensional or focusing too much on one aspect. Foster a safe environment where everybody can speak their mind. Tip number 4. Analyze the growth phase of your organization. When your sales starts to grow, so should your team. In every phase of your business, your team needs an additional set of skills. This is what I like to call the talent relay. The talent relay is quite simple and follows an interesting pattern that startups and their teams have to manage. It often has the following order. The innovator starts his or her idea and in time hands the idea over to the business developer. The business developer in turn tests the idea for viability and when successful hands it over to the operational manager, who hands it over to customer support and so on and so on. In other words, your team needs someone who thinks about the product, someone who can translate the product features to its customer needs, someone who gets busy to deliver the product to the market, and eventually someone who safeguards the process so that the customer is happy to buy again. Teams that manage the relay race, well, have a clear alignment of who does what based on personal talent, experience, and a set of skill sets. Tip number 5. Get rid of the surplus. This may be yourself as well. While growing your business, you will encounter challenges along the way. Perhaps 1 or 2 team members are underperforming. What to do? Boldly said, say goodbye. In the startup phase, it can take 1 weak member to bring your business to a screeching halt. Don't hesitate. Buy them out or say farewell. This can be a rather painful process from my experience, and it can end long-time friendships. But again, avoiding this step could end the entire business you work so hard for. Be honest to each other in order to let your company grow. My experience is that the best entrepreneurs, and preliminary research on this subject backs this up, are the ones who build a great team around themselves and know when to let go. Some entrepreneurs have great ideas, but once their startup is growing, other members could be better qualified to take the idea forward. Recognizing this in time and moving on is the professional things to do. I know this is tough. You have invested years of your life. It took blood, sweat and tears to get there. It is hard to let go of your baby, but remember that this is sometimes best for your company. Please realize that your ego or stubbornness should not get in the way of letting somebody else take over. Would Apple be just as successful if Steve Jobs wouldn't have made room for Tim Cook or Steve Wozniak? A good entrepreneur once told me, when my value for the company diminishes, I sell it. Leave the keys at the door and never look back. At some point, this might be best for your company as well, in order to take the next step in growth. Conclusions. 1. Start with building a diverse team. Attract and select different kind of people. Point 2. Identify strengths of individual team members. Position people so that they are empowered and make use of their natural skill set. Something that comes easy to them. 3. Find your devil's advocate. Stimulate a safe environment where people can give their opinion about business-related processes and issues. 4. Analyze the growth phase of your organization. Know in which phase you find yourself and actively prepare yourself for the next step. 5. Get rid of the surplus. This may be yourself as well. If it's time to say goodbye, say goodbye. No hard feelings, it's business. Thank you for your time.